my peaches, I'm Eleanor and I'm getting ready to pull your 2020 year ahead tarot forecast. I'll be using Spirit Within Tarot by Stephen Bright. I'm going to pull 12 cards, one for each month. And then when I do your monthlies, I'm going to pull more cards and we can unpack the themes that come out with each card for each month. Each video is going to be labeled by zodiac sign, and it's also going to have a title so you'll know if it might be for you. If it doesn't resonate, that's okay because I'm reading for a lot of people and I do offer personal readings. My information will be in the description box below. Hit me up. I would love to see what's going on and help you out. Also, this reading may not necessarily resonate with your sun sign, so I recommend looking up all of your sign placements, because if you're more interested in a love reading, you might want to know where your sign is and your Venus sign is, or if you're wanting to know more about sex or your passion project, you'll want to know where your Mars is placed. Deeply personal, emotional things will be your moon. How other people are perceiving you, that'll be your rising. So if you get a full chart, you'll be able to get more out of my readings and find out which video is going to be the best one for you to watch and be most relevant to you. Also, this is my first video series ever, so I have a lot of wrinkles to work out, but bear with me. I know you just want to get to the messages, right? So let's get to it. Hi Virgo, let's find out what 2020's got for you. What kind of stuff is Virgo going to be dealing with in 2020? Shuffle one more time, that didn't feel like enough. My Virgos. One more. All right. Okay, Virgo. What can Virgo expect to be dealing with in January of 2020? January for Virgo. Let's see what's Virgo got going on in January. Virgo, we're starting January with the Four of Swords. You're going to start out on a kind of mellow note, taking a mental break. So if you're a little bit worn out from the holidays and all the peopling and all of the partying, it looks like in January you're going to be taking a break from some mental chatter. This doesn't necessarily mean a break from work, but it does mean a break from overthinking and a break from other people's opinions and a break from socializing. So take some time out, Virgo, in January and relax that brain, that giant brain of my Virgos. What can Virgo expect to be dealing with in February for Virgo? And keep in mind, for each one of these, there will be a monthly reading where I take this card and pull 4 additional cards for a week-by-week breakdown and get some more detail. And then probably, if all goes well, there will be a weekly one that will dig even deeper into each week's energy. Virgo, for February, you have the Nine of Swords. So you've emerged from your break with some worry and anxiety. And that could be because you felt like maybe you weren't holding your space, or that being out of touch. Maybe you feel like things were going down while you were taking your break. And it's like, do I have to be there for everything? But this is going to be some stress and some mental anxiety, but it's definitely going on all up here. It's a thought spiral, an unproductive thought spiral that's going to be creating some worries and fears that aren't necessarily accurate or true or what's going to happen. So this is going to be the spinning a web of a story that's driving you crazy. So when we get to that monthly breakdown, we'll get some cards that are going to help alleviate some of that and shed some light on what's actually true and what's actually just a story that you're telling yourself and torturing yourself with that's keeping you up at night. Two of Swords for March, Virgo. March may not be the best time to make a big decision, Virgo. That's all right. This isn't a stubbornness or refusal to make a decision. It's that it's not the right time to make a decision. It may mean that you don't have the information that you need. It may be that you do kind of know. Okay, so when Two of Swords comes up, I hear someone saying, I don't have a choice. We always have a choice. And when we say I don't have a choice, it often means that we haven't reconciled ourselves to what the consequences of that choice are. And that's all right. That sometimes takes time, and it takes the right motivation, and it takes the right ability to see all the angles and to decide that it's worth it. And so in March, there may be a stasis where you're not quite ready to pay whatever the consequences are for what is ultimately the right decision that you will make. It just will not be in March. And that can be an information gathering time. It can be a period of decision making and contemplation and baking of the decision and letting it mature and develop before you're actually ready to take that step. So Virgo, April. What is Virgo looking at in April? So far, Virgo, there's a lot of, everything here so far is thought. And so, yeah, there's no evidence here of anything serious going down other than a lot of mental energy, a lot of thinking, overthinking in some spots. And we'll figure out how to deal with that. 10 of Cups for April, for Virgo. This is the happily ever after card. This is your idea, not necessarily everyone else's idea, your idea of what the ultimate happiness is, what you're having it all looks like to you, what that feeling, so aligning yourself with what it feels like to have it all. Mostly this is going to be relating to love and emotion and feeling whether or not you are wealthy in the bank account, feeling about as wealthy as it's possible to feel in this life emotionally. That's gorgeous, Virgo. Let's find out, Virgo, what May. That was your April. April was your 10 of Cups, your happily ever after. Seeing glimpses of that happening on the horizon, whether it may be energy that you are experiencing in April, or it may be that you're gaining clarity and redefining what actually that sense of wealth and happiness means to you. It could be that you've had it the entire time and you're just now realizing it because you're redefining what that means, but we'll find out. So let's see, Virgo, what's going on in May. May for Virgo. I'm feeling like that 10 of Cups, Virgo, is going to be, I think it's something that's already here now. I just think you're going to realize it. Instead of moving yourself towards a new state of being, you're going to be pulling that state of being into you in April. Virgo, what's May? What's going on for Virgo in May? Four of Wands. I might be just a little bit right about your April, because May looks like you'll be celebrating this happiness in some tangible way. Four of Wands is the way we signify transition from one state of being into the next with a celebration or a party. The way we celebrate graduations, birthdays, marriages, any kind of accomplishment that involves a transformation, that involves changing or graduating from one thing into the next, leveling up. And the way the society all agrees that these are good milestones, and we mark these milestones together with some kind of connection or celebration or tradition. And it's one of those little things that we as a people share, and create some stability and harmony and togetherness, oneness, and identity, group identity. So there's a happy celebratory energy to your May, Virgo. Let's see what's going on for Virgo in June. June for Virgo. Page of Cups in June, Virgo. You may be feeling an inkling of a new type of spiritual energy, a new curiosity to level up in the spiritual sense, and a new learn new ways about yourself, learn to awaken new parts of yourself, or access new parts of your heart that you haven't yet. It's gonna be there's a lot of signs and synchronicities that come to the Page of Cups when I think of it. I think of it as starting to be curious about there being more to life than more to life than what meets the eye, or there being, you can take on the Page of Cups, which is rather childlike and innocent at any age, where you start to feel like you've come this far and still there's more to learn. You're always learning. And so I think in June, you may, at whatever age you are, start to feel like a novice again in some aspect, which is kind of exciting. It feels kind of like life going on. So there's this April happiness, the celebration of it in June, and then there's a new chapter starting in June. So April, the happiness, the celebration in May, and then in June, the new chapter that starts with this grounding, with this creating a foundation and a stability and a foundation. From that, you get to spring forth and learn something new, because there's a safe foundation from which to leap off and try something different. 9 of Pentacles, Virgo, for July. 9 of Pentacles is very independent energy. It's earning what you have, not owing anything to anyone. It's enjoying what you earn. It's everything that you have, you've worked hard for, and being able to feel confident and stable and successful from your own efforts. This isn't a payback on an investment or any kind of windfall. This is, I did this is mine. Mine, all mine. And I don't have to share if I don't want to, although it looks like you already are. So let's see, Virgo, for August. Virgo for August. August, Virgo. What's Virgo looking at in August? Virgo, for August, you'll be walking the middle path. This is going to be balancing of extremes and realizing that you don't have to cut anything out altogether if it's no good for you. It just means that you have to have just a little bit of it, or if a little bit of something is good for you, that maybe having a ton of it isn't, and that there is a middle ground and a balance to something, and that you're maybe challenged, your all or nothing attitude may be challenged a little bit this month to find ways that the seed of an oppositional idea or energy creates balance and perfection somewhere in the middle. Like, okay, if you've ever made a chocolate sauce and forgot to put the salt in, it tastes a little kind of weird, and it seems counterintuitive to put salt in your chocolate sauce, but I promise you it's perfect if you put the salt in. Weird reference. It's just what I felt like telling you, Virgo, about trying to give you a less woo-woo example of what temperance means for you in August. So Virgo, what's going on in September for Virgo? Virgo, 5 of Pentacles in August. So there's going to be a feeling of not being included, and exclusion and expulsion, not necessarily forced or against your will either, because this can be where you've decided to hold yourself apart, where you've been invited to come in and to be included in something, but you've decided that there's strings attached, or to do so would compromise yourself. So there's going to be a maintenance of separateness here in September, whether it's by choice or not. Then we'll dig into that one. I'm going to dig into them all, but we'll break that down and find out more if that's something that you're choosing out of integrity, or something that you're feeling because you're focused in the wrong place, that you're meant to be independent in something and do something on your own, or if there's something that you are being invited to and choosing not to engage in, and maybe it would be beneficial, and that you're feeling left out, but it's actually yourself that's staying out intentionally. We'll find that out. So Virgo, your October, Ace of Cups in October. This is going to be a brand new emotional beginning. Probably something started back here in June with this Page of Cups. But it's going to be your heart just overflowing with emotion. Cups, people love to label cups as love, but it's just emotion. So you'll be feeling very emotional in one way or another. Whether, usually, I do like to think of this as your cup overflowing with love, but it will be overflowing with emotion either way. The emotions will be flowing. You'll be crying. Happy tears, probably, though. I'm feeling happy tears. Something in October is going to bring you some tears of joy, Virgo. All right, Virgo, November. What's going on with Virgo, November? What can Virgo expect in November? Oh, I'm so happy for you, Virgo. The Ace of Cups is gorgeous. I just feel your heart swelling with pride. And yeah, giving your love so freely and unconditionally. All right, Virgo, November. The moon for Virgo in November. So a lot of what's going to be motivating you in November, you're not going to be very clear on. There's going to be hidden motives, maybe, that will be revealed to you in your dreams if you're paying attention, but also through shadow work. So there's going to be a need to explore what's behind the scenes and what is motivating your behaviors and what unaddressed, unmet needs you may have. The moon is very powerful for integration of your shadow side and for healing areas where there's been past damage that you need to look at and bring into the light, whether that be in therapy or whether that be with meditation or something. But there's going to be some things, your inner workings, those hidden things behind the curtain are going to need to be looked at, because we need to know, Virgo, you're going to need to know in November, like what your triggers are being wired to. If you keep getting triggered, they're going to keep going off until you find out what they're wired to and deactivate them, heal whatever that thing is. So Virgo for December. What is Virgo looking at in December? Seven of Swords. Virgo, in December, you're not going to be seeing the whole picture. So what I would advise you, Virgo, in December is to not build a story around a partial narrative, not jump to conclusions, and not race to fill in any blanks, not to fall victim to confirmation bias and be subject to letting your imagination run away with you because of some small thing that seems to corroborate a story or a theory you have, but really is not the whole story. So there's going to be the tendency for your imagination to run away with you in December. And so when we pull those cards, we'll find out how you can be a little bit more grounded and realistic and not take little bits of information and build grand false narratives around them that hurt you or hurt others. So that will be interesting to look into, Virgo. I can't wait.